out of the game, and good to see him come off on his own power.
High formation. Cody Hess. Ankle tackle at about the 20-yard line or so. Danny Beckman, 6'3", 310, a junior, 45 tackles, 18 for loss, and 6 sacks. Pretty nice job by the big fella getting off that block.
They all do a great job of doing that, and I really have just been impressed with just their athleticism up front with their linemen. They're skilled kids. We all talk about a lot, but I just have been very impressed with how they play with their hands and have just amazing feet.
Maurer keeps it, gets a first down for Evansville Mater Dei.
I know that Dane's not having the day once throwing the ball, but I tell you what, he's done a great job running the ball, and I think that's been a big key. I mean, he's run for 71 yards so far, so great job on his part.
High formation, toss sweep. Hess cuts it back inside, and he is met by Montez Brooks, who will get to the football about as fast as any inside linebacker in the state of Indiana.
Montez Robinson can get there. He moves his feet well. He reads it well. The thing I liked about him is I love the pursuit angles he takes when trying to get to the football. Great job again, great instincts.
Timeout of the field going to be taken by Fort Wayne Bishop Luers. It's a 2nd down and 8 with a timeout on the field. Let's go downstairs to Greg Rakestraw.
Guys, let's give you the injury update on Hunter Owen. As you can figure out, they're checking for a concussion. He's doing a good job of talking to the training staff while sitting down, but standing up, things are a little woozy for him. So I would expect to see that we are done seeing that young man for the night. Of course, your concern is for his health, and at 35-7, Mater Dei's not thinking about punting. In addition to being a wide receiver, he is a starting punter for Coach Gable's team as well. Mark?
I know this, Coach, whenever a trainer goes out on the field, for us at Monrovia High School, my first response is to tell that trainer, okay, whatever happens from this point forward to that young person is totally your call. I'm out of it.
Tell you what, it's such an important facet now to have the right trainers, the right team doctors, because again, it's great to play football 17 and 18, but you and I both know that we want these young men to be great dads, to be great fathers, to be great men at 30 and 40 years old, and football is going to end at some point. And again, if you ask that young man or any young man that gets dinged up or hurt, they're ready to go back into the game. They don't understand the long-term effects that having a concussion or something that can happen. So my hat's off to all of the training staff.
Trainers, doctors, whatever level, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5A. Boy, what you do is just great for kids. They'll try the screen, Snyder, and they bottle it up. They just can't seem to account for all of the numbers. Brooks is out there. Jalen Smith is out there. Montez Brooks is out there, as we said. Jemison, they're so fast to the football. Aaron Lemaster was also in on that stuff.
Nothing is easy, and I think that's the hard thing right now for Mater Dei. Every inch they're trying to get to, they got a claw to just get it, and that's just something that will eventually wear on you a little bit.
Trips to the right, Maurer rolling that way, throws it out the flat and throws it away. Everyone covered, everyone accounted for. That'll bring up a 4th down. And we'll see if Mike Gable decides to put points on the board here.
Tell you what I really like there again is they're moving Maurer, and I think that's so important because again to move that launch point, to not allow Luers to just tee off, I think it's been key to the success that Mater Dei has had.
Juana Mueller goes into the ball game, and don't forget now there was a backup holder into the ball game. Owen is typically the holder. Nice snap, ball down, kick is up, plenty of leg, no doubt about that, and it is good. .212 left. 35-10, 2-12 in the third quarter, we should say. Fort Wayne Bishop Luers in command of the 2A title game.
A crisp October evening. A stadium filled with fans. A pass throw. A journey completed. State of euphoria? No. The state of Indiana. High school sports. Pure spirit. Pure sport. Pure Indiana. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community.
Okay. There we go.
Nothing quite like the exuberance of youth, if you will. The Evansville Mater Dei Wildcat faithful still in somewhat of a celebratory mood, even though their ball club finds themselves down 35-10. There's nothing quite like this experience, regardless of the outcome.
I tell you what, just the atmosphere, just the ability to come down here. Lucas Oil, what a great complex, what a great setup for high school kids. And I tell you what, this is something, win or lose, you never, ever forget. I mean, the ultimate goal is to play on Thanksgiving weekend. And for these teams that are down here, I just take my hat off to them.
Well, and while always certainly you've been able to say you played on the same field that Peyton Manning and all of the Indianapolis Colts have played on, the greatest players in the NFL. But now I think it's even more special because you can say you play on a field that's hosting a Super Bowl. That's huge.
That's such a great statement. And again, it's something you see on TV. And now you're actually on the field. You're in the locker room. You're experiencing all the things that you'll see on Super Bowl Sunday. And just watching our Indianapolis Colts play, that's such a big deal. And it's great for the communities and fans that come down here, especially in this case here from Fort Wayne or from Evansville, where you're not here like we are on a regular basis. This is such a big deal, and it's so important for your community, just for the kids itself, just to have the chance to be down here is just amazing.
I know there are concerns about the weather. There always are in the wintertime in Indiana, but I just think with the proximity of the hotels and the way the convention center is set up and Lucas Oil Stadium and whatnot, I think my hope is that this city will fare better than the reviews that the previous host city was given.
And I think you're absolutely right. I think they will, just because of the fact that there is so many things here and so many preparations are being made to make this such a great site for the Super Bowl. And again, I think we're ready as Hoosiers to make this unforgettable.
Look at Napke and Rogers trying to hook up on the deep ball.
They were awful close. Oh yeah, exactly. I tell you, great ball again. But I think the big thing there again, there's no pressure. And I think that's something that, when again, as a quarterback, if I can set my feet, I can relax, I can let it rip. I think that's a big deal, and that's what's happening right now with Luers.
2:04 left in period number 3 now. I formation, pretty much a pro set. Solid carry. Jaquel Cooper on the carry, gets his first. Actually, his second carry. He had carried earlier for 14 yards.
Just real impressed again. I just feel like they're using a lot of players to carry the ball. A lot of players to catch the ball. The one constant though is Luers' offensive line. They've done a great job of controlling the front of Mater Dei, and I think that's the reason why the success they've had on offense.
3rd down and 1. They'll try Cooper again. Nothing doing there. Pretty good pressure defensively by Evansville Mater Dei. Shuts the door as Cooper on the carry. Eiler on the stop. Blankenberger also there.
Interesting decision here for Coach Lindsey. I'm thinking he may not punt this.
So 4th down and about a yard or so. 35-10 with 50 seconds remaining.
I'm going to go ahead and give the ball to Smith. I'm not. If that's me out there right now, it's 4th and 1. I like our chances.
Smith off tackle, bounces it outside, has the first down, picks up about 3, wrapped up and dropped at about the 47-yard line.
Again, I think Mater Dei had that defended well. Again, Smith just makes an athletic move, a jump cut, and just makes enough room to get the first down. Nice job.
Cody Hess into the ball game defensively, playing a linebacker slot, stepped up to make that tackle. 1st and 10 now. For Fort Wayne Bishop Luers. Little counter. Nice carry. Cooper to the 45 of Mater Dei. He'll pick up 8.
Great job up front again by Luers. I think you or I could have ran through that hole there on for that little play there, but great job again by Luers by controlling the line of scrimmage.
Not sure I would have gotten 8 out of it like he did. Don't know if I could have cut it back against the grain or not. Time has expired at period number 3. Back with 4th quarter action after this on the IHSAA Champions Network.
If this is your Mount Everest, if this is your triathlon, if this is your Iditarod, if this is your walk on the moon, then this is your home for orthopedic care. Methodist Sports Medicine, the orthopedic specialists, partners with Indiana University Health and team physicians of the Indianapolis Colts.
.35-10, the most important statistic of the evening as we get ready to start this 4th quarter. That's Fort Wayne Bishop Luers in front of the Evansville Mater Dei Wildcats in quest of their 3rd consecutive championship. And from a numbers standpoint, perhaps the most glaring statistic you don't often see is the fact that Fort Wayne Bishop Luers has yet to punt tonight.
It normally tells me you're doing a pretty good job up front. That normally tells me your quarterback is playing well and you're running the football very effectively.
2nd down and short now. Offset I formation, little play action, looking to throw it deep. They're going to air it up the right sideline. It's wide open. Did he get a foot down in bounds or not? Official said no. Pass was complete to Michael Rogers, and it looked like the first foot that came down was out of bounds. Little play action. Napke airs it out, catches the foot. Oh, boy, I don't know.
Now, I thought he passed a lot. He broke the goal line, and when you do it, it doesn't really matter what happens with your feet. The ball did, so that was that might be one they would like to have back if you're the officials.
Well, and unfortunately, there really wasn't anyone in position to make that call.
Now, that's one of the things right now. We get a lot of 6-man crews. Right now there's a 5-man crew doing the state finals, but I think there's a big push for a 6-man crew to always be there, and I think that's a real good reason why.
Smith looking for the corner. Mater Dei did a pretty good job of stringing that out, but he still gets the first down. He runs out of bounds at the 40. Some of the stats through 3 quarters starting to mount heavily in favor of Fort Wayne Bishop Luers. Time of possession draws a little more even. Average per play, when you average almost 9 yards per play, you're going to be successful.
Yeah, well, they've done a good job, and really looking at them all year, they're averaging a little less than 8 per play, so they're right about their season average, which is just amazing to me.
Cody Hess knocking on the door of 100 yards, but that's a pretty hollow stat at this point. 19 carries, 74
Offense.
yards off
5-yard
the false
penalty,
start.
still first down.
Smith 14 carries, 118 yards. And again, look at the personnel that have touched the football for Fort Wayne Bishop Luers. I mean, 6 different guys with rushing attempts, and he's been able to find 6 different receivers. He's 15 of 22 for 180 yards.
You know, Coach Lindsey wanted Napke to be smart with the ball, get the ball to the right player's hands and spread it out. And he's done a really good job of doing that. And they are, you know, at this point, they can really do a lot of things that cause Mater Dei a lot of problems.
Really, how can you not look at Napke as their most valuable player? He's not their most athletic player, perhaps their most valuable.
And absolutely, I tell you what, he is definitely the person that drives that train, and he is, you know, really, I think Coach Lindsey's done a great job over the last 3 years with him. I remember him as a sophomore coming in here playing well.
I do too.
Doing I understand. I'm sorry about that, but you know, he just has gotten better and better each year. And I tell you what, there's something to be said about a 3-year starter. And I think he really has got command of this offense, and really is just done a good job of spreading out the wealth of that football, and really has Mater Dei back on his heels.
That's a great point. It's one thing to have all of those weapons. It's another thing to know how to use all of them. A bull rush blitz almost picked off, but pass complete out in the flat to Rogers. Rogers to the 30, breaks a tackle to the 25, to the 20, still on his feet, down to the 15, down to the 10, 5. You won't see a much better play than that in high school football.
I'll tell you what, Rogers in space is pretty special. And again, as good as Smith is, and he's been fantastic, I really think it's, you know, they've done a great job of making plays in space, but I think that we've got a flag, and this one's probably going to come back.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to, and you know, so we won't take a lot of time talking about it and belaboring the point, but if you're Evansville Mater Dei, the biggest issue is there is simply no way that you can prepare for that until you get on the field and play against it. You don't say it's poor tackling, because I can tell you, Evansville Mater Dei, they teach kids how to tackle. You just can't rep that up in
still
practice.
First down.
Coach Gable's done a great job here. Their kids are in spots to make plays, and I think that's the thing right now is it's hard to replicate that speed. And again, when you don't see it every single Friday night, it's something that's hard to really understand. It's really, you know, as you're watching this game, it's like, why can't they make the plays? And again, they're doing a great job. It's just, it's really hard when you're not used to playing against that type of athleticism.
Costly penalty, backs the football all the way up into Fort Wayne Bishop Luers territory. It's at the 36-yard line. Shotgun snap. Napke under pressure, throws it underneath, and they're going to call that a catch to Matt Williamson. And again, Williamson has been a pleasant surprise. 6 catches for 60 yards prior to that attempt. Not the sort of thing that they expected to get from him.
Thing I've been really impressed with Luers continuing to throw the ball. Mater Dei has decided to bring pressure, and I think how do you slow them down is you have to get to Napke, and I think that was a great example of that.
Second down and a bunch. The snap. They'll run it this time. Right side, trying to get to the corner, trying to strip the football. With Gaston on the carry, he has plenty of real estate around the right side. Gets it across the 45, back into Mater Dei territory up to about the 40-yard line.
Once again, they're in position here. I think they're getting held a little bit there. But it's one of those things, again, it's really hard to, once they get to the edge and now they're in space, any good running back or receiver really, now it's really go time, and that's really difficult to handle from modern day standpoint.
Pretty well doubled them in total yards now. They've amassed 419 yards against what has typically been an extremely stingy Evansville modern day defense. Napke looks out of the flat, now looking back across the field, going deep, and almost picked off. Pretty good defense.
Great play. Great play of staying at home. I thought at first when he ran the crossing route, a little arrow route, a little deep post, I thought the defender was going to let him go. It was a great job by Napke by getting the ball out there, but way to stay home by the defender.
Blankenberger did a nice job, and Williamson, the receiver, did a pretty effective job of turning himself into a defensive back at that point when he realized that he couldn't catch it. He was just going to make sure that Blankenberger didn't pick it off.
Great point. I do think that, again, modern day is not going to quit. They're still playing. They're playing hard, and again, they have earned the right to be here. And I really feel like, Coach Gable's done, again, he's done such a great job, and the kids are responding to him, and I think they're going to keep fighting.
Now, didn't we jinx them? We talked about the fact they haven't come to football. Now what do they do?
It happens all the time, doesn't it? It's great.
Delay a game, back them up 5.
5-yard
they
penalty.
lined up in
Still
punt
fourth down.
formation earlier in the first half, went for it, came up a little short, and it was that momentum swing that kind of gave us the impression that Mater Dei was going to make a game of it. They put together their only real effective offensive drive of the night in the second quarter.
And I think, again, at this point, it's 4th and 15. I would be surprised if they're looking at faking it. But, again, Coach Lindsey is just, again, has pulled out everything for this game, playing a lot of kids playing getting their first action now in the fourth quarter. But again, I just can't keep reiterating the point that it's been a great job up front on both sides of the football by Luers. And again, Mater Dei kids are playing great, but I do think that's been the biggest difference in this game.
Please put 9:28 on the game clock. 9:28.
Putting 28 seconds onto the game clock, moving it up to 9:28. Don't forget, the IHSCA Champions Network will be with you throughout the day tomorrow. Starting at 12 noon, it's a triple header as the 3, 4, and 5A title games will all be held here. Some great matchups. Great punt into the end zone. Ball 1st and 10 on the 20.
Again, I'll be really anxious to see how Mater Dei comes out this half or this possession. I really, again, I think coaches can keep going.
3A title game, a rematch. South Bend St. Joe's here for the second year in a row, and they are going to try to stop what is now a multi-pronged attack by Vince Lorenzano and Bishop Chittard. They not only run it like they always have, they can now throw the football effectively. You can join us for all of the action beginning at 12 noon. Then Rick Strife and the Irish of Cathedral will take on the Panthers of South Bend, Washington, and that Irish juggernaut is something to behold. All you have to do is ask Mr. Gunnar Keel about that after the way they were dismantled in the semi-state down Columbus way. And then the 5A title game, Kevin Wright looks for a state championship with his second team as he takes on the Penn Kingsmen. Ball up the right sideline is caught, ruled complete. A good catch at the 46-yard line.
Well, I like the way that Dane stayed in there that time and took to the pocket, got the ball out there, gave his receiver a chance to make a play. Great catch.
Foot down. That is a catch.
It all started up front with Mater Dei's lineman. Nice job.
Jay Koppel with the catch for Fort Wayne Bishop Luers. Go back his way now, and he gets popped.
Almost thought that might have been a head-to-head and throw the flag there. He was.
And I'm not sure Jemison didn't hit him while the ball was still in the air. Yeah, rotating over from his safety position.
That was a catchable ball there. I'm not quite sure why there wasn't a flag, because that's, again, the safety of
Ball's
of
in the
air,
kids. Hit him. Yep. And you can look at the reaction of the Fort Wayne Bishop Luers staff, too, right after the hit. They were kind of wondering why. I think they're as surprised there wasn't a flag as anyone.
And I believe you're right. And I think the biggest thing again, and he also went high, which is kind of surprised they wouldn't have flagged that.
2nd and 10. Maurer looking left. Throws it into the seam and it's picked off. Jemison with the football to the 40, the 35. Cuts it back inside the 30. Wrapped up, dragged down at about the 26-yard line where Luers will have the football 1st and 10.
Just a little late on the throw. The safety came over the top and made a great play. And just, again, when you're a little late against these guys here, you pay for it.
And again, that goes back to what I spoke about earlier in terms of, defending against speed. Let's face it, Evansville Mater Dei has faced outstanding football teams all season long. They've yet to face core linebackers in a secondary that have the ability to close the way these players of the secondary and the linebackers can close.
And that's a credit to the Bishop Luers staff, and it's a credit to other players. They put them in the right spots. But again, when you're not throwing on rhythm and you hold the ball a little bit, bad things happen.
On 1st and 10. Demontre Cato, the 5'7" senior running back, seeing his first carry of the day, picks up 5, makes it 2nd and 5.
Again, the way they're running the football right now, and really have all game. Again, that's probably got to be the 5th or 6th running back that's carried the football. Again, they are sharing the wealth big time.
Cato continues with the eye. He'll get the carry again, and he is met and dropped. Evan Collins on the stop, stepping up out of his outside linebacker position. Collins with 124 tackles on the season, 4 sacks, 10 of those for loss. Good look at the junior there. He's 6 foot and 195.
Textbook tackle. He definitely was able to shed the block of the offensive lineman and sped his feet and did a great job of just keeping everything going.
Loss of about a yard. 3rd down and about 6. Double tight. Try the counter. Smith back in the ball game. Carries it down inside the 10 to about the 8.
He has done a nice job. His yards per carry today are pretty good. And again, when he has touched the football, he has made some really great things happen.
1st and goal from the 9 as Blankenberger was in on the stop for Evansville Mater Dei. Smith's coming off the field.
He's been impressed with him in all phases. I mean, again, normally you don't find running backs that want to be linebackers, and again, he has really played on both sides of the ball a very special game.
Napke throws it back the other way. Pretty good defense with a penalty marker down. They throw a little backside screen to Morgan. And Blankenberger among those there to snuff it out. And from the spot of the foul, we'll mark it off against
Sean Horty made
Fort Wayne Bishop Luers.
And ran a little tight end screen there, trying to catch Mater Dei kind of sleeping. Again, I've just been so impressed, just like all game. They have been in position every play.
10-yard penalty from the end of the run.
Nice job on
Still
Mater Dei's
first down.
part again. They haven't quit. They are playing through the whistle, and they're just doing their job, being very disciplined. Great job.
Mark that off back across the 30 to the 31-yard line. So it'll be 1st down and 31.
Under normal circumstances, I would tell you, Mark, this probably not the textbook what you want as a coach, 1st and 3rd, 31. But every time that I've said that to you, we either get a big play or a touchdown.
Well, you feel a little better about it when you're up 35-10 with 6:49 to play.
Good point.
It's not nearly as big a concern. You wonder when Napke's going to get the opportunity to take a well-deserved curtain call. As Gaston was on the carry, picks up a couple.
In seven different running backs, and just as soon as you say that, bring in some different players.